Imagine a sacred cloak surrounding you, light yet sturdy, protecting you from all dangers and perils of life. This is not just a beautiful image but a truth many have experienced when they perceive God's sheltering presence in their most challenging moments. The Bible affirms, "The name of the Lord is a strong tower, the righteous run to it and are safe." This verse is not just a comfort but also a profound reminder of the strength of protection that comes from God. As we navigate through challenges, there are times we may feel as if we are fighting alone, confronting the hardships and dangers of the world. But remember that you are not alone. An invisible yet very real power is protecting you. It is the sacred cloak of God, enveloping you and safeguarding your soul, mind, and body. This cloak is not just a symbol of protection but a divine sign that God has marked you, knows you, and protects you. If this is your first time here, please subscribe if you want to understand how and why you are marked by God. Follow us to the end. The idea of God marking you might seem abstract or elusive, but it is a powerful reminder of His love and grace towards you, assuring you that God has not forgotten you, even when you feel as though He has. God's protection is not random or coincidental. It is part of His plan for you, manifested through the safety you feel in times when others might feel bewildered. When a storm hits your life and you find yourself still standing, it is a reminder that God is always by your side. Every time you feel peace in your heart amid difficulties, it is proof that God has marked your life, a mark of preservation and protection. This does not mean that your life will be free of trials or hardships. In fact, challenges will still come, but what matters is how you face them with the presence and shelter of God. When you feel divine protection, you will realize that nothing can touch your soul when you are guarded by God. He protects you not only from external dangers but also from internal worries and fears, bringing you a peace that the world cannot take away. Think about your daily life, those small yet precious moments when you feel peace, safety, and shelter in your soul. Those moments are not coincidences, they are the sacred marks of God in your life. Every day, He is still protecting you, guiding you, and sheltering you in circumstances you cannot see clearly. God's supernatural provision and harvest are clear evidence of His love and care for each of us. He does not merely stand by watching the lives of His children, He observes personally and provides everything they need. The Bible states that God knows all your needs even before you ask. He is the owner of everything, from heaven to earth, and will never let His children go without or fall into hardships without His help. When you are marked by God, you will experience His miraculous provision, sometimes coming from sources you could never expect. This provision is not limited to material wealth, it extends to spiritual and emotional aspects as well. God does not only give you things you can see or touch but also provides you with inner strength, peace in your soul, and hope in your most challenging times. Remember the challenging journey of the Israelites in the wilderness, a story of God's miraculous provision. Although they passed through a barren land where nothing could grow or thrive, God provided for them from seemingly impossible sources. He gave them manna from heaven, miraculous food to sustain their lives throughout 40 years of wandering in the desert. God's provision not only meets their material needs but also reinforces the faith of His people that He will never forsake them, even when their external circumstances seem hopeless. This is clearly reflected in each of our lives today. When we bear the mark of God, His supernatural provision may come from unexpected places. It may be a new opportunity that arises just when you need it, a sincere piece of advice from a friend during a tough time, or a sense of peace from God when your heart is troubled. These are not coincidences but the results of the provision from the One who has marked you and knows exactly what you need. God's provision is always abundant and timely, even if we do not immediately recognize it. He sees things we have not yet seen, and He has prepared everything we need before we are aware of our own needs. The mark of God on your life is a guarantee that He will never let you lack, not only materially but also spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. Divine recognition and grace are among the clearest signs that you have been marked by God. When you bear His mark, your presence creates a special influence around you, causing others to notice and acknowledge you naturally. This is not due to your talents or efforts but because God has placed His mark upon you, granting you divine grace that no one can deny. doors will open in surprising ways, opportunities will arise that you cannot anticipate. This is grace from God, transforming your life miraculously. When God's mark is present in your life, those around you will recognize it, even if they do not specifically know why. They will begin to trust and offer you opportunities that seem only possible through divine intervention. An excellent example of this divine recognition and grace is the story of Joseph in the Bible. Despite being envied by his family and sold into slavery, Joseph never lost the mark that God had placed on him. In Potiphar's house, Joseph quickly gained trust and was given authority over all his possessions. This was a significant acknowledgement, especially for a slave. When Joseph was falsely accused and imprisoned, instead of falling into despair, he was still favored by God's mark. The warden also recognized Joseph's special qualities and gave him authority in prison, which was very rare. It was this grace that elevated Joseph from a lowly position to become the second most powerful man in all of Egypt, just after Pharaoh. This is evidence of the power of the divine mark. No circumstance can hinder the recognition that God has destined for his chosen ones. When you bear the mark of God, nothing can stop his grace toward you, even in the face of the greatest challenges. In today's life, we can also experience this recognition and grace. Sometimes, you will be offered job opportunities, promotions, or other favors that you never anticipated. Those around you will sense something special about you, even if you are not deliberately trying to showcase or seek attention. This is God's mark working through you, bringing you blessings from him. Peace, joy, and profound comfort are the special marks that God bestows upon those he has marked. These are not the temporary peace or joy that the world can provide but deep, lasting emotions that exist even amid adversity. When you bear the mark of God, you will notice a tranquility in your soul that nothing from the outside can shake. In life, we cannot escape difficulties, challenges, or pain. But when you are marked by God, you will experience a kind of peace that is not dependent on the circumstances around you. It is a peace that surpasses all understanding, as mentioned in the Bible. This peace helps you maintain faith when everything seems to be against you. When others are panicking, worrying, or fearing, you will find yourself surrounded by the peace of God, like a sacred cloak protecting you from the upheavals of life. The joy that God grants is also a clear sign of his mark on you. This joy does not depend on success or failure, nor does it come from material things or temporary feelings. It is a deep joy stemming from your relationship with God, from the awareness that he is always by your side, providing and protecting you. This brings you indescribable joy, even in your most difficult times. As King David once wrote, "The joy of the Lord is my strength." This divine joy is not just an emotion but also a spiritual energy that helps you move forward. The profound comfort from God is also an indispensable part of the divine mark. When you experience sorrow, loss, or loneliness, his comfort will come and fill the void that no one or nothing else can fill. God is not only with you in joyful moments, he is also the one who is always present in your moments of weakness and hurt. God's comfort is unlike human consolation. It has the power to heal and restore, bringing you peace and hope even as you face dark circumstances. Recall the times you felt anxious, fearful, or lost in life. Perhaps those were also the moments you felt God's presence clearly, bringing you peace and joy that cannot be explained. That is a sign that you have been marked by God, and he will never abandon you. The peace, joy, and comfort he gives are divine gifts, forming the foundation of your life, helping you walk firmly in all circumstances. A victorious life is a clear sign that you bear the mark of God. This is not only victory in material achievements or goals you attain but a kind of victory that carries deeper spiritual significance. Your life becomes a series of breakthroughs, as you continually conquer every challenge, temptation, and obstacle. Those marked by God are promised that they will never face difficulties alone. He will always be by their side, guiding them through every situation. When you face challenges, your confidence and trust in God will help you not just overcome but triumph gloriously. Sometimes, you may not understand why challenges come your way, but you know that every step you take is controlled and guided by God. Thanks to his mark, you always know that difficulties are not the end but merely stepping stones to greater victories. This is not random but part of God's plan for you. Look at the stories in the Bible, from the lives of Moses, David, to Joseph. These characters all had to endure tremendous challenges, but they triumphed not merely by their own strength but because they were marked and guided by God. They did not back down from adversity but learned to rely on God's power, which led them to great victories. This victory is also present in your life today. You may face various challenges, health issues, family problems, financial struggles, or emotional pain. But always remember that you are marked by God, and He has promised that you will not be abandoned. In His time, you will experience breakthrough and victory, leading you to a life of fulfillment and abundance. This is why we invite you to seek the understanding of how you are marked by God. As you engage in this journey, you will experience the powerful truth of how God's protection, provision, recognition, grace, peace, joy, comfort, and victory are intricately woven into your life. These are the very signs of a life marked by God, a life filled with His divine blessings.